Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Always great to have you with us as we unpack some fascinating knowledge.
Glad to be here.
So today we're jumping into something I think almost everyone wonders about at some point. Can men and women really be just friends?
The age-old question.
Exactly. And the sources you shared, well, they offer some, let's say, illuminating and sometimes pretty surprising angles on it.
That's the plan. Our mission, really, for this deep dive is to sort of peel back the layers on these mixed-sex friendships.
Okay.
We'll look at research, different cultural takes, and, what does just friends actually mean in practice?
Right.
The goal is to give you, our listener, a much more nuanced view of how this all works.
All right, let's get into it. Maybe start with the traditional idea, the whole sex problem thing. The idea that attraction just gets in the way, makes it complicated.
Right. That classic hurdle.
Yeah, and our sources point to that University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire study. It found pretty clearly that men were significantly more likely than women to be attracted to their female friends.
Yes, and even fantasize about them, according to that specific study.
Which, let's be honest, probably confirms what a lot of people suspect, right?
It definitely taps into a common narrative, but, and this is crucial, the story doesn't end there.
Okay.
Because while attraction can be a factor, what's also clear is that many, many people value these friendships immensely.
Like really highly.
Incredibly highly. The sources talk about them being seen as, vital, unique connections. Indispensable, even.
Interesting. So it's not just about navigating attraction.
Not at all. It quickly becomes obvious the answer isn't some simple yes or no. Culture, societal norms, opportunity, these play a massive role, maybe even bigger than individual feelings sometimes.
That's a really important point. And the sources bring in this measurement tool, the Cross-Gender Friendship Index, WHMSI.
That's it, yeah, the WHMSI.
And it shows how separate male and female friendships are in different places.
Exactly. It quantifies that segregation.
So you see places like China, Turkey,
Yeah,
very high segregation. Scores around 0.9.
very high, indicating fewer mixed-sex friendships are common or perhaps easily formed.
But then Europe, North America,
Yeah.
much lower scores, like 0.1, 0.2, much more integration.
A stark contrast, isn't it?
It really is. So what's driving that difference? It can't just be personal preference on such a huge scale.
Well, if you link those scores, those WHMSI scores, to other societal factors mentioned in the sources, you see clear patterns.
Like what?
Like countries with less mixing often have lower internet access, maybe lower female participation in the workforce, things like that.
Ah, okay. So it's about opportunity.
Opportunity seems absolutely key, or the lack of it. It shapes the landscape for these relationships.
Makes sense.
And there are studies, Dr. Neckner at University of Cologne, Dr. Kretzmeier at Oxford, their work backs this up. They show things like higher education, more women working, diverse schools. It's not just that people meet more different people.
Right.
It actually creates environments where crossing those gender lines for friendship becomes more normal, less remarkable.
It breaks down barriers almost naturally then.
Precisely. The structures allow the friendships to form more easily.
Which leads nicely into another idea from the sources, this intergroup contact theory.
A powerful concept.
Explain that a bit. It's about positive interactions reducing prejudice.
Basically, yes. Positive contact between different groups, and this applies just as much to gender groups, can lessen bias and build understanding. It helps you see the individual, not just the category.
And the sources gave that great example, the Arizona State University Buddy Up program.
Yeah, that was a neat illustration. Elementary school girls paired with older boys.
And the result?
The girls actually developed more positive views of boys afterwards.
Wow. So early exposure, positive exposure, really shapes things long term.
It can, absolutely. It helps break down those preconceived notions before they harden. It fosters acceptance.
So wrapping up this deep dive,
Yeah.
It sounds like the answer to can men and women be just friends is, well, it depends.
It absolutely depends. It's not some fixed truth, yes or no. It's this complex dance between, sure, individual psychology, but also, crucially, the cultural stage it's playing out on and the social doors that are open or closed.
So text is everything.
Context and opportunity, yes. And, understanding all this is one thing, but applying it, that's where the real value lies.
All right. So the final thought for you, listening, what does this richer understanding of friendship mean for your relationships, your own context? And maybe how can you play a part in making genuine connections, whatever the gender mix, easier for everyone? Something to think about.